The good, the bad, and the cuddly season is coming to a close. Group C performed one last time together, two of them going home. Let's talk The Masked Singer. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my Masked Singer recap and reaction video. We've got really only one new episode left for this season. The finals are going to be in 2 weeks. Next week they're doing sort of a best of the season clip show, and maybe they'll reveal more clues there. But I think we know who all these people are, so it doesn't much matter at that point. So for all intents and purposes, there's really only one new episode after this one. But we've got the Prince, the Space Bunny, and the Queen Cobras all singing for their lives here, with the winner going head-to-head in the finals against the Firefly and the Ringmaster. Look, we talked about this last week. In a perfect world with this season, the final would be Queen Cobra and the Prince versus the Ringmaster. Firefly, get out of here. Don't need to be a part of this, but, she already is with the structure of the season, so all right. I don't think she has a chance against the Ringmaster or whoever she goes against from this group in the final, but we'll get there. So, no special guests this week, which I was a little shocked at. Usually this season so far, they've had special guests for the third episode of the season because there's only 3 singers. So yes, they do give us a little more in the clue package department, which is great because in episode 2 they hardly give us anything. And then they all sing together at the end, before voting, as a sort of okay, here's one last chance to hear your favorite sing. This for me, I think was the best of all of the group sings, but it makes sense because if who we're thinking are under these masks actually are under the masks, then these are all professional singers, so it makes sense that they would have some really great harmonies there in the final. So without further ado, let's just get right into the night's episode. The Prince was first, and like I said, pretty big clue packages here, so a lot to talk about with this. All of them had a fairy tale book motif. The Prince certainly makes sense for his fairy tale. He said he was a young toad who wanted to escape his small pond. We saw a picture of Carnegie Hall. We saw him writing some sheet music, and we see a toy airplane when he talked about, going, moving on to new pastures. He said people only judged him on the outside. Then we saw a bunch of bats flying. He said he went to some scary places. We saw a wristwatch. And he also said he's the Prince of the Stage. All right. And then at the end, we learned after his song that he came from a small town and he loved music, but he became known for something other than music. So all of this does kind of fit into my thoughts on who this could be. The song he did was Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. I'll be honest, I'm 44 years old, and I'm a big music fan. I never knew this song was called Sir Duke. I always thought it was called, like, You Could Feel It All Over or something. That Stevie Wonder song that everyone knows. You can feel it all over. But, I never knew it was called Sir Duke. But, all right, it is, and that's what he sang. All right, so the guesses from the panel. Jenny was on the boy band trip. She thought maybe AJ McLean and JC Chazé. Look, these are other people. We talked about this last week with, I forget who. I think it was actually somebody from The Prince. Darren Criss. Nicole's Darren Criss guest. At some point, I think they should do a season with literally all of, or at least like half of the people being the classic guesses from everybody. Lindsay Lohan, Darren Criss, AJ McLean, JC Chazé, I forget who, Jamie Foxx is always thrown around in there. I think that would be fun. But anyway, it's neither of those because, first of all, he said, he loved music, but then he became known for something other than music. Jay-Z, Chazé, Jay-Z, Chazé, AJ McLean, they're known solely for music. You can't even say like a Justin Timberlake or a Joey Fatone that like has done other things, but all they're known for is their music. So obviously is not that. And then the Broadway guests started coming. Ben Platt, Andrew Ronalds, all of that makes sense as well. But I'm sticking with my original guess for this. Cheyenne Jackson, for me, this, was a slam dunk. I was pretty confident that first week, but then each week as we continued on, it became more and more clear to me that that is who this is. And then I was thinking about, okay, what do tonight's clue packages mean? I can't figure out all of them for sure. But the scary places and the bats flying, we've talked about how he's been on American Horror Stories, a few different seasons, so that's no surprise. But also the wristwatch. He was in 3 episodes of the HBO Watchmen series. So that makes sense there. And he certainly has become known for something that's not music. He's known much more for his acting these days. Yes, he was in Glee, and that was, of course, both music and acting. But since then, I think most people know him only from acting. And I had completely forgotten about this for some reason, but he's part of the Fox family anyway because he's on Call Me Kat. So, and then also the part about where he said people only judged him on the outside. He is a gorgeous man. So, that could be a hint to his beauty. They showed the bats flying after that. So maybe we were supposed to think that meant, oh, he's like a big uggo, and people were judging him from that. No, I think they were maybe judging him because he was so beautiful and not really getting to know him, that kind of thing. So, Cheyenne Jackson for sure on this one for the Prince. As we move on now, the second person to perform was the Space Bunny. And he was also the first to go home. I don't know who the second person is to go home, but we're gonna pause here after I do the clues for the Space Bunny and go to the video on that. But he said he came from a tiny burrow where life was slowed down. Then we saw some dancing angels around him, like the devil and angel thing, but they were both angels. We saw a crown. He said his mom moved to a fast-paced city, but he left breadcrumbs to find his way back. Him and his mom moved, I should say, not just his mom. We saw a boombox on somebody's shoulder. He said all of his new friends were bad, and he needed to get away from them. And then we saw a drill bit, and then he sang Now That We Found Love, the great 90s Heavy D song. So the guesses from the panel, and you know what? I won't even say them because they all sort of stuck with these guesses for the final. So let's just jump to it. I mean, there's no sense in wasting time there. Ken has this horrible Owen Wilson guess. They pay Ken to make the stupidest guesses. I know that they do. He connected some of these clues, but like the voice. Even Robin was like, "Oh, you think Owen Wilson's a big reggae singer from the Caribbean?" Not so much. Jenny was on the Sean Kingston trip because she saw The Crown, and obviously this is somebody with that sort of flavor. Some of the guesses so far this season have been Sean Paul, Pitbull, so we're all sort of dancing around that area. But Robin was on the right track, I think anyway, with my guess. And this is something Nicole said the first week, so she jumped back on this train, and that is Shaggy. So, for this week alone, the Boombox clues, he is known as Mr. Boombastic. One of his early hits in, I want to say 95, was Boombastic, and that was the name of the album, I believe, as well. So he's sort of known as Mr. Boombastic. And then, of course, the Angels flying around. Angel is one of his big songs as well. And I've been, putting together all the clues so far for all of this. I was caught red-handed is the red painted hand on the Xerox from the first week. Look, I've said since the beginning this is Shaggy. This is one of my first week guesses that I am sure is correct. But, we must go to the videotape and find out for sure who this is, of course. But for my money, this is a slam dunk home run for Shaggy. So let's see what we've got here on the Take It Off. It's Shaggy. Come on now. We all do. All right. More time wasted on the Take It Off than anything else on television. All right. Yeah. And I've been saying, I just saw him on Name That Tune recently as well. So he's making sort of the Fox reality and game show rounds. But we love him. All right. I don't think they're going to really reveal anything we didn't already know with these clues. We knew Mr. Boombastic. We knew it wasn't me. Angel. Oh, Carolina, I had mentioned. Oh, and he was just on Ken's show, too, so he must have done I Can See Your Voice, too. So he's really making the Fox rounds. Okay. All right, look, I don't think we need any more clues from him. We know. We knew from the beginning. All right, so let's move to the Queen Cobra. I do think Queen Cobra probably will be going home over the Prince, because I think the Prince will be in the finals. Amazing performance, by the way. The Sir Duke thing, they had like this sort of virtual reality kind of stage setup. It was really cool, like an art museum. All right, so Queen Cobras, we've now admitted there are 3 at least of the Queen Cobras. She says there are 3 queens from different worlds, and then we saw a picture of the Charlie's Angels pose. We saw a Chili, so people maybe were thinking, oh, Chili from TLC. Well, of course, it's obviously not TLC because Left Eye Lopez died, 15 years ago. And we now know there's at least 3 of them. If that would be cool at one point if Chili and T-Boz were on. But yeah, obviously there's 3 of them now. We saw a statue of the Thinker, and it had a price tag on it for $0. And then we saw Mariah, Celine, and Ariana Grande sort of in like a photo. And Robin had pointed out, oh, there's a bunch of divas. So that clue, remember that one. The song was Leave the Door Open from Silk Sonic, the new Bruno Mars project that just won a bunch of Grammy Awards. And then Nick asked them something about their favorite show or movie or something, and they said The Wiz is a favorite. All right, so I was not on this the first week, I will admit that, but as of last week, I was for sure with you guys on this in the comments. This is En Vogue, 100% for me, and for this week alone, the clues, Mariah, Celine, and Ariana, of course, are divas, and one of their big hit albums on Vogue was Funky Divas. The statue of the Thinker, I could not quite figure that one out. I'm sure they have a song that has, Think or something in it. And then, I don't know any of the other clues, The Wiz, I don't know. But look, vocally and clue-wise from those first couple of weeks, this is En Vogue for sure. Now, again, I don't know whether it's going to be Queen Cobra or the Prince leaving tonight, so go to the videotape here and figure it out. It is the Queen Cobra going home, so, no, I can't say no surprise, because this actually was tough. I mean, the quality with Queen Cobra and the Prince, that's final worthy. I mean, either of them could have been in the final and won this entire show. But yeah, since that first week, I was like, the Prince has got it, I feel like. Which, if Queen Cobra went forward, it would have been an all-female finale. But with the Prince going forward, it is an all-good finale. So the good, bad, and the cuddly. Well, bad and cuddly are all gone now. I will say, real quick, there was one clue that they revealed about the Space Bunny after I had paused it, and Kingston, Jamaica is where Shaggy is from, so that's what the crown was from. Kingston, not Sean Kingston, but Kingston, Jamaica. All right, so let's get to the final guesses here on the Queen Cobra, and these are the guesses actually that, once again, the panelists said in the show as well. So Ken, this isn't a horrible guess, but, people keep thinking Ariana Grande is going to do this show, and that seems silly at this point in her career. But the price tag clue led him to the song Price Tag by Jessie J. We saw Ariana, we saw Ariana specifically tonight, but he had the Wiz was his way into Ariana, and then Nicki Minaj, he came up with some clue as well, but they had a song together called Bang Bang years ago that was a big hit, so he was thinking Jessie J, Ariana, and Nicki. Robin thinks it could be SWV, because of the Thinker statue. You Were Always on My Mind was one of their songs. Great girl group from the early 90s, but Nicole pieced together the final clue with the Thinker statue and the price tag on it. Free Your Mind. Free price tag. It was $0, and then the Thinker, of course, Your Mind. Free Your Mind is a huge hit from back in the day from En Vogue, and Jenny sort of glommed onto that. You guys were on this from the start. Week 1, I had said something. I don't even remember what it was. Maybe Brandy and Monica. And you guys in the comments said, no, dum-dum. It's En Vogue for sure. Here's why. And all of those clues the first week made sense. And so I kept with it, and everything since really has made sense as well. So this has got to be En Vogue for me. En Vogue, En Vogue, however you say it. But this is going to be it. So let's go to the Take It Off and make sure that we're thinking along the correct lines here with En Vogue. It's got to be the Funky Divas. What's funny is there used to be 4 En Vogues too, so there could have been 4 Queen Cobras at one point. Yes, it is En Vogue. What harmonies, man. What harmonies on En Vogue. You know, I was a big fan back in the day, for sure. You know, Hold On, when that came out, I was like, this is huge. The panel's doing the whole We're Not Worthy thing. Yeah, I mean, En Vogue is one of the biggest names they've ever had on this show. For sure. In terms of, you know, #1 hits and Grammys and platinum records. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they really were. Yeah, Robin is saying all the right things. I mean, right. They are one of the most classic and great vocal groups of our time here. Ariana Grande, Selena, Mariah, right, are a nod to the album Funky Divas. Well, I said that. All right, well, look, I think we all figured out, you know, what the clues mean. You know, Nicole put the last piece of that puzzle together for me, the thinker, the free your mind. All right, so that's it now. Next week, like I said, I'm not going to do a show because it's just like a best of the season kind of thing. No need. But I'll be back in 2 weeks for the finale, and that will include now the Prince, Ringmaster, and Firefly. For my money, it's easily going to be either the Prince or Ringmaster. You know, I haven't heard the Ringmaster sing for 3 weeks. No, actually more, right? No, she was part of Group B, so I guess it's been 3 weeks. I think she has a shot, but I'm going to give it to the Prince. I think, you know, whoever it is, whether it's Cheyenne Jackson or not, I think they've got the goods here. They've got what it takes. I know last couple years, I think we had men win, right? But LeAnn Rimes won the 1 year. Oh, and last year was Jewel. Okay, I was thinking Nick Lachey. They do so many seasons of this, I get lost in my mind here. But last season we had a female with Jewel. So yeah, why not volley it back and Cheyenne Jackson? If it's the Ringmaster, I won't be upset. If it's Firefly, I will wonder what's going on with people. But I think this is the Prince's season. So that is my prediction for now. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching, and please comment below as always.